All right, Shalom. This is your brother Samak with another lesson. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect, to USA Shalom. All right, so I just got out of work, man. Long shift, man, long day, but it's all good. Man don't work, man don't eat, right? That's what the scriptures say, right? It says a man who don't provide for his family is worse than an infidel, right? And basically the scriptures say if you don't work, you don't eat, right? Reap what you sow. So if you sow slothfulness, well, guess what? You're going to reap the slothfulness. Anyway, all right, but the point I want to talk about today is keeping your walk as simple as possible, right? Keep your walk as simple as possible. All right, and what this will do is it's going to give you the best chances that you have in being of the elect, right? The Apostle Gabar did a beautiful lesson today. All right, and I'm gonna land back off of that lesson, Lord willing. If not tonight, tomorrow, when I get a moment to sit down and go through some precepts and stuff like that. But I definitely want to just kind of do a little spiritual exhortation, just to talk to you brothers about keeping your walk simple, right? Like I was saying, the beloved Apostle Gabar did a lesson talking about 7 signs that you may be of the elect. All right, and it was very beautiful because what it did was it put me in a sense of self-evaluation, and it made me check myself and realize, okay, if I'm not actively embracing or embodying those 7 signs or those 7 traits, then I'm off, right? I could be doing 6, but if I'm off by 1, then I'm off. So I need to make sure I'm on point and I'm being diligent in every aspect of my life that would yield to being that of the elect. All right, the scriptures say, put there, I believe it's in Philippians, I think it's Colossians the 3rd chapter. I may be wrong, but I believe it's Colossians the 3rd chapter, where it says, put therefore on as the elect, right? And it goes on to list a numerous amount of character traits, all right, that the elect would embody, right? Meekness, long-suffering, charity, to name a few, right? Humility, understanding, all these different things, right? And one of the signs that the apostle brought out that you would be of more likely of the elect is if you're a stoic, right? Which, to be a stoic simply means to be in control, being understanding and in control of your emotions, right? Not allowing your emotions to sway your decision making and allowing your emotions to dictate, right, or overcome you, right? Exactly, pretty much. And that's the point, because that's essentially what subsiding to the flesh is. The flesh is merely your emotions, right? The scripture said the heart is desperately wicked, and the heart is directly in tune with our emotions. That's why people talk, always equate the heart with emotions, because in reality, we're not talking about the physical heart, we're talking about the lab, the mind, because your brain, right, is directly in charge of feeling emotions and filtering emotions, and that's in the subconscious mind, right? Because you can't necessarily consciously feel emotions. Like, you can force yourself to feel a certain way, but in general, when you go through moods, it just happens as a reaction of an experience. But what you can do is you can train your mind to think a certain way when certain experiences happen, even when certain emotions arise. If you have a conscious process of what you want to do and what you don't want to do, all right, then you will be able to overcome those emotions. Okay, now to kind of pivot into the point that I want to make, right, because all those things lead up to the point, is you want to keep your walk simple. You want to keep your life as simple as possible. So I can for the noise. You want to keep your walk as simple as possible. And this is one thing that I've learned from experience, because in the world, I've always went over the top. I was always doing the most or doing too much. And what I mean by that is I was always trying to obtain possessions, and I was always trying to go the extra mile and do the most, and seek validation, and you know what I mean, like just doing the most in all aspects. And the result of that was I went in debt. I was underwater and over my head in bills. And even if I made enough money to pay the bills, I'm literally working to live. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally working to pay my bills. And if I miss a day at work, I'm fucked. All right. What that did was it put me in a position of insecurity, because I was seeking validation from other people, and by seeking validation from other people, I was doing things for the acceptance of others and not for the sincerity of myself. And that causes insecurity, because when you don't get the response or reaction that you desire, you feel like what you have done or who you are is meaningless, right? Or you're valueless. Another thing comes into just your having a routine. If you keep your lifestyle very simple, you are able to maintain a routine, right? And having a routine is very important, because without structure, you're open to all types of temptations and evil. But when you have structure, you have a routine, and you're fairly consistent with that routine. I say fairly because life is going to have things that happen to where you may not be able to go to the gym at that time in the morning because something came up. Maybe you had to work a little earlier. Maybe you had to help somebody, your mom or your dad, with something. So then you kind of have to adapt and adjust. Maybe you go later. Maybe you go to the gym 2 hours later. You know what I mean? Maybe you got to go after work because now you can't go before work because you had to do something. So the point is to have a simple routine, right? Because with having a routine, you're able to build and grow better. You're not going to be able to grow spontaneously. It does not work. You can't go to the gym and give 100% one day a month and expect to have an amazing physique. But if you go to the gym every single day and you give 60%, you'll have a great physique. That's just the reality of it. So if you have a routine where, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to train, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do these exercises, these days of the week, and I'll do, whatever. Some days you're going to give 60%, some days you're going to give 100%. But when I say by percentage, you're doing your best every day, but your best is not always going to be 100%. And once you realize that, you'll see progress, you'll see growth. And this comes down to even with the scriptures, because you're not always going to be, and this kind of ties back into the Stoic part, is that you're not always going to feel like going to camp. You're not always going to be super fiery in the spirit. It's just not going to happen, right? We're in the flesh. There's going to be times where you're tired, or you're whatever, and you don't feel like getting up to go outside and get dressed and drive to the camp spot and deal with the people. You might not feel like dealing with people, man. You might not feel like talking, but you still got to go and do the work. You still got to put your lessons up. You still got to go out and teach. You still got to fellowship with the brothers. All right, and this is where the Stoic part becomes into play, because it's mind over matter. All right, you are disciplined, and you don't allow your emotions to dictate what you do. You understand your emotions, and you feel them, and you acknowledge them. Like, you know what? I don't feel like going to camp today. I feel like shit today. But you know what? I'm still going to do it, because the benefits that come from doing the work far outweigh any feeling or emotion that I feel right now. And anything that I do, if I decide to just relax and chill, there is no benefit, there is no gain. And if there is, it's very minuscule in comparison to going out and putting my body as a living sacrifice for Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and putting myself in the position to obtain salvation, which is life eternal excellency, the ability to be able to walk amongst the angels and Yahweh and Yahushai, to be able to stand in the presence of Yahweh and walk with Yahushai, man, to be perfect, right? That's what is at stake. So that's why you have to have your walk simple, because it's in your best interest to be as simple as possible. All right. Spontaneous living is going to breed inconsistency. Is going to breed resentment. Is going to breed a lack of results, and ultimately, what's the word I'm looking for? Complacency. Being stagnant. That's what living spontaneously is going to do. Trust me, I know from experience, and many other men can attest to this. All of the great men, right, will tell you that having a routine and a system is what's going to give you progress and success. There is no special trick, or there's no like special plan or technique that's going to yield success, right? It comes to consistency and discipline. Consistency, right? Consistency beats intensity any day. Because they say if you show up every single day, you'll never miss a lucky day, right? And that's just a saying. But the point is, if you show up in the spirit every single day, you'll never miss your blessing. If you don't show up in the spirit every day, you may miss out on blessings. You may miss out on an opportunity to meet certain people that help your spirit. You may miss out on an opportunity to get certain information that will help you with a problem that you're experiencing if you don't show up every single day. All right. So that's pretty much the point. All right. Keep your walk simple, and put on as the elect. And again, like I said, Lord willing, if I get some time tonight or tomorrow, I'll sit down, cut some precepts together, and I'll expand upon this lesson. So again, until next time, Shalom. Hopefully it was edifying.